Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Descent into Avernus, the Blood War. We have a full team. Yay, that's good. And we're going to run through the introductions so that we don't take too much time. I'm just going to hide a little search bar, which I see is showing up there. We don't need the players to get worried just yet. And so yes, joining us all the way from Germany and from a wonderful German YouTube channel, we have Myri. Myri, how are you doing?
I'm great, and how are you on your birthday?
Well, yes.
Birthday!
It's a special month actually because it's also Kaora's birthday today.
Today, happy birthday, Kaora!
Remains of it. There we go. It was Michael's birthday. When was it? A couple of days ago.
Happy
That's
birthday!
right. And it was Jenny's birthday a couple of days before that.
A week ago, yeah.
A week ago. And it's Janet's birthday coming up. Is that right? Or
2
is it
weeks
yours?
ago.
2 weeks ago. Myri's is coming up. Whose is coming up? Someone's is coming up.
No. Mine was in August.
Yours was in August.
Ah.
Well, belated happy birthday for August. Anyway, all right.
Belated happy birthday or belated happy birthday to everyone but me.
There we go.
Yay!
Right.
Yeah.
And
So yeah,
yes.
I'm fine. I'm great. I'm looking forward to today's session. I'm Myri from German YouTube channel Orkenspatter TV, and I play Nazaya, a slightly tieflingish half-orc monk who is the in-between of a sullen goth teenager and what happens if you button smash in Tekken.
There we go. I like that. Then Michael joining us from Australia. How you doing, Michael?
G'day guys, my name is Michael, I am the Dead Aussie Gamer, and I will be playing Yormund Gale, a dragonborn paladin who is pretty full of himself, let's be honest. And he's hoping to try and make deals and twist contracts and try and find a way to get back to the material plane so that he can fulfill his ultimate life goals.
There we are. Sitting next to him is the wonderful Janet from the UK. How are you doing, Janet?
Greets. Hello, I am Janet from World Anvil. I'm very excited to know what's going to happen today. Dimitri always listens to the pre-show upstairs, and so sometimes if I run upstairs quickly before the show, I hear, and today the players are going to, and I put my fingers in my ears and go la 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 la, so I don't hear any spoilers. Last week there was a moment where Guy was saying yes, the ultimate spoiler is coming up, and I was like, oh, I want to listen. No, I must not listen. Oh, but I want to. No, so I didn't. But yeah, it's always very hyping to hear just before the show, like tantalizing glimpses of what's going to happen. So can't wait. We're supposed to steal a car today, I think. Looking forward to that. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Working our way down. Jenny from Sweden. How you doing, Jenny?
Hello, I am doing good. I am psyched to play.
Yes, I wanted to hold up your wonderful necklace because you were showing it us before,
right.
and it just
Yes.
falls off the screen,
It's
sadly.
a little tome, a little grimoire,
Oh, it's lovely.
which I thought was very appropriate for a warlock of the tome, which I am playing, called Ixtec, who is feeling like it's a Tuesday, really. I mean, everything's trying to kill them. It's a horrible nightmare world. Devils are trying to make deals. You know, it's the usual. At least this time, the threats aren't personally directed towards them. So I think they're going to possibly have a relaxing time.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Okay.
I don't want to say too much.
Right, probably a good call that. Yes, and finally, again from the UK, is our fabulous fantasy cartographer, Kaora. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Yes. It's going to be a fun one, I think. I think we're going to
so.
steal something cool.
Does it bring you quiet joy to know that there are hundreds of people currently fighting over your map? Because we
Yes,
look at your beautiful
yes,
map.
it does. I mean, I just love the idea of people looking at the map and going, "Oh, that'd be really cool," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
I was surprised by the territories that they've claimed so far. But yes, we'll talk a bit more about that towards the end of the show if we have time. I'll remind you to go and have a look at that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can vote for whether devils or demons should triumph over the map of Avernus, as drawn by Kaora. And that you can find at www.greatgamemaster.com. Join the Blood War and pledge yourself to a side. You can do this once a week, by the way. Once a week you can change up your vote and see where you're going. So next week, who knows? Who knows? And it does have a direct impact on the game, as you will see today, with the devils taking the lead by quite a substantial force. This is to be expected. The demons are invading, so of course the devils have the upper hand for now. But yes, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? What's going through Thorn's mind at the moment, Kaora?
I think Thorn is generally very happy, weirdly. He's probably the happiest person in the entire party to be in hell. He wants to be in hell. He wants to find a devil in particular, and this is probably the best place to find him or it.
Probably, yes. There is a good chance of finding a devil here in hell.
Yep.
So yes, I'm glad he's happy. I'm glad he's happy. I have no idea why he's disappeared off of my map though. So I will have to figure that one out. Oh, because it's the wrong map. That's fine.
He does hide very well. He's a very stealthy tree man.
Healthiest
7-foot tree I've ever seen.
Definitely.
Yes. Yes, he is. So, without much further ado, let's throw some love to those who make this show possible. Dungeons and Dragons. I'm going to show off. I got sent to celebrate the opening of the show. The shiny cover for Descent.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's so pretty. This wonderful sort of skull motif on the front and on the back. I'm always sad that this didn't go on the front, actually. It's this wonderful, wonderful Zariel, anyway, with silver foil. You can't really see it too much, but anyway. So big thank you to Dungeons and Dragons and to all of you for telling them that you love the show and keeping us broadcasting, so thank you for that. World Anvil is where you will find character information about these wonderful, wonderful characters that are running around in today's show. So worldanvil.com has got that, as well as bits of the world setting. You can find that wonderful map with all of the regions written up a little bit more in detail so that you can start to explore that version of Avernus if you so choose. And Dungeon Fog, dungeonfog.com, providing us with all of the maps that we could possibly want for this campaign. Each week I get sent a message saying, oh, where are they going today? And I'm like, how the hell should I know? But I shall give you these maps, which I would like you to make, please. And they dutifully do them, and beautifully so too. And of course to Fantasy Grounds we were talking about in the pre-game show a little bit earlier on. Fantasy Grounds providing us with all the devils, demons and dastardly deviance that we could possibly desire, because that is of course what we truly desire, is massive amounts of destruction. I can't think of any of those D's at the moment. Right, so that is that. The Leather Lair for providing me with the super awesome leather jacket. Thank you to them for that. Next season we'll get you guys leather jackets, and it can be like biker mice from Mars or something. I'm not sure.
Oh my god.
I don't know what next season holds. If we have a next season, who knows?
Yes,
it's way too early to talk about that though. What we do need to talk about is Avernus. And so we descend deeply into Avernus, into that fiery, dark cathedral, if you recall, where Haruman has just... I've been completely derailed by the chat. I'm going to blame the person who wrote it in chat, because this is an awesome idea. Which biker gang from... What was the last word there?
I think it's supposed to say on broomsticks.
Which biker gang on broomsticks?
I'm sorry, I will stop writing silly things in the chat.
See what happens.
You won't stop.
You just
Don't be ridiculous.
You broke the narrator. All right, so back we go into the Cathedral in fiery brimstone-shod Avernus, where our 5 intrepid characters, I'm not going to say heroes just yet, our 5 intrepid characters have found themselves standing before the almighty presence of Haruman, one of the great warriors of Zariel's forces, and he has just directed them to go forth and retrieve a war machine, such that they might use that to better move about the destroyed space that is Avernus. The 5 of you were given instructions that it is that way. Can all 5 of you please give me perception checks? If you choose, you might not, not want to look.
Sorry, it
It's
didn't react
not done
first,
well.
so now I did a lot of perception checks.
There are lots of perception checks. Ixtec got a 15, Thorn got a 9, Mademoiselle Larouche got an 8, 7 from... which one is correct, Nazaya?
You should take the first one. I did the
first
second one because I thought it didn't react.
And then Jorman got a 6. Great. Okay, so Ixtec, as you casually glance out of the ruined wall of the cathedral, you can see that the cathedral appears to be basically on a cliff side. And looking down below, you can see this massive plain. And then beyond that, there is a strange white glow. It is the only way you can describe it, but it stretches from horizon to horizon, and
like a wall around the.
It's way off in the distance, right at the edge of the horizon. But it is this white stripe. It's so incongruous with the sort of ashen grey, green, red, tumultuous sky above and the fiery, cracked, destroyed territories below.
Yes, I did spend some time last time looking at the windows of the cathedral and stuff.
That's correct.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Can
There
I
is
see
also, unfortunately, before you continue to look, this might catch your attention more than the white stripe. There is also about... quick count, your intelligence is pretty good, I'd say. Pretty good. Yeah, your wisdom is pretty good too. By quick count, there are probably around 2,000 or 3,000 devils currently marching on the cathedral. In rank and file, with 3 very large trebuchets being dragged by 3 tremendously large devils with massive wings of fire that trail out behind them as they are dragging these massive trebuchets behind them. So that's what you see casually when you look out the window.
Is that the same direction that Haruman pointed?
His hand has nary dropped from pointing in that exact same direction.
All right, I sort of look the direction he points, and then their eyebrows go up, and then they turn back to him, and they go, "Are you sure? It seems that direction is currently occupied in other ways."
That is unlikely. Zariel made sure that this location was secret from the devils.
Look out the window, please.
Does everyone else look out the window?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These faces just peer out of the cracks in the side of the cathedral. Everybody looks at this massive army. Haruman takes just one moment before he turns. We're under attack! He turns back to you.
Ow.
You will defend! And then he turns and starts marching over to Zariel. We are under attack by devils. It would appear our position has been given away. As he strides off towards Zariel. Someone starts to go blasting on a horn inside the cathedral. The acoustics are amazing, and if this was a concert, everyone would be going.
So we've been given 2 orders, right? Should probably do the first one first.
Well, that army is between us and the order, so
Oh, that's not a problem. I smash my staff onto the ground, and billowing shadows sort of spill out in a 30-foot radius and sort of obscure every single person in the party that we have. I cast Pass Without Trace.
Ooh.
Very nice. I like you. You can stay.
Oh,
All right, so what is the call?
Maybe I can do that too.
Oh,
I know,
okay.
I know, but you know what? You're safe for when you need, huh? You're safe for when you need. And he uses now.
Look,
You
we are
should
being
be-
approached by these hordes of monstrosities. We need to decide now. Are we staying here to defend, or are we going to go after that large machine?
Machine.
I think we should get the machine, huh? There's so many people
Fantastic.
here.
All right, let's sneak out this way. Let's go.
Sure thing. Let's go.
Très bien.
You start to look, perhaps, for a path that will lead down this cliff into the plain, and
Peppermint, where's the path down, boy? Come on.
the
Guide us down.
creature looks up at you, its tongue, because it has 3 of them, lolling out the side of its little infernal mouth, flames. The 5th leg is still busy dribbling. You get the sense that he's not exactly understanding what you're saying. He's just excited to be here.
Oh.
I love this dog.
I love it so much.
I sort of frown in partial disappointment at him. All right, I will. Looking at the cliff face, obviously there is the sheer edge that drops down. I imagine that would require a series of climbing down. Is there a less of a steep incline on any other side of the cathedral, or are we on like a plateau, as it were?
All right, I'll come back to you. Just a quick question on your pass without trace, Thorn. Does it completely obscure you from sight? Just give me the definition of that, if you please.
A veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection. For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has a +10 bonus to stealth checks and cannot be tracked.
I see. Okay, so you would actually still have to make hide checks in order to not be seen by anybody. So
Yes, but we are very difficult to spot.
correct. All of you hear Haraman turning around saying, "Forsaken, you are required." And
I thought you wanted us to get. Wait, how far is he away?
he is about 50 feet away. He's joined a group of other angels with Zariel. They're currently poring over a map. There is a very obvious, this was not planned. And so they're working out how best to do whatever it is that they need to do. But his order was one of those general type orders where he has assumed that you will report for duty because that's what you have been told to do, and he's an angel. He doesn't even have the comprehension of not.
Just melt
Generic
away
shouty man.
amongst the ruin.
Right, Nazia, what are you doing while this? Nazia, what are you doing while this is going on?
Nazaya is very much torn between the other people just wanting to sneak away and the fact that the angel promised her that her soul would be cleansed and everything would be wonderful. She just always said so. She kind of hangs back and tugs May's robe. Are you sure? He said we should defend.
But before that, he said we should get the machine, no?
Yes, but in orders. I mean, like when you give orders, the last one you give is the one that takes precedence.
Sometimes, or sometimes it's the first. Angels are very strange. It's hard to know exactly what is going on in the funny little, not bad looking,
And
but
that
funny
is what
little heads.
they will never give you command.
Is that what you
Messiah, if
think,
we
huh?
acquire one of these infernal war machines, we might be able to better defend than with our bare fists.
They
My
sound
bare
loud. They sound.
fists are deadly weapons. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
That is
I
true.
point at the catapult. You want to go punch it?
I can punch the people who use it. The devils
Not
who use
from
it.
here, you can't.
I am very quick.
Écoutez, Nazaya.
Yes, I'm listening.
If we go and we get the war machine, bien? Imagine how much damage we can do.
yes, and now imagine
look,
how an angel
no,
who
no,
thinks
no,
very
écoutez.
literal.
Look, how many people are in here? How
About
can we
55.
add to that? So many people. But if we use a different tactic, we split them and we succeed.
And you
It's
think
obvious.
he likes us getting creative?
He already doesn't like us. I don't think
I
that will
think-
change his opinion.
I think the end justifies the means, no?
Our standing orders are to achieve the objective by any means we deem necessary. That is
Fine.
the order.
Fine. I look down the cliff. How deep is it?
It is a drop of a good 120 feet or so. But Jormund has been having a look to see what's going on. Ixtech, what's going through your mind at the moment?
As sort of muttering in helpful additions to the discussion, I'm sort of starting to walk off to help Jormund find a way down, because it's a cathedral. It has 4 sides. We can both look.
There we are. And Thorn?
Thorn is looking down the cliff, debating whether or not to like turn into a bat, but then looking back at the party and going, "Yep, I don't think a bat is going to be able to carry all of you."
How many feet?
150.
150. That would be 14d6.
Is this
damage.
150 feet into lava, or is it onto
It's
ground?
lava encrusted rock with spiky bits. Let me share the map with you.
Okay.
Yeah, oh,
You
yes,
can have a
yes.
look and see.
Well,
So currently, actually, let me just move your
yes.
tokens. Let me move your tokens over to where you are standing. Fantasy Ground's just having a moment here for me on my computer. Poor thing, it's taking a
Needs
strain.
time.
But yes, as you can see, it's infernal territories all around you. Here we go. Let me just grab you and move you down there, and move you down there. Sorry, you're standing here. And so, yes, you cast your eyes out over this treacherous terrain. It doesn't look particularly nice. Cracked surfaces. As I said, this great big drop down into this cloudy, steamy, smoky surface. Jormund, you've been looking as best you can. Give me a survival check, if you please.
Yes, indeed.
Can I have advantage since I'm helping?
Yes, you can. Yep, that's a good call.
Ooh, I like advantage.
Well, on a double
Wow,
11.
you rolled 2
Double 11.
11s.
That's straight
Not good at
ones.
all.
That's straight
I'm just
ones,
not
actually.
helping.
There we go. Yes, what you realise by quickly rushing over to the other side of the cathedral is that you're in a rock and a hard place. The cathedral appears to have landed on the side of a mountain, and so on its left side, mountain stretches upwards. On its right side, left, depending on which where you're standing, of course, that drops away to the floor below, and on either side it sort of tapers down to this narrow entrance. It looks like there might be a footpath winding its way slowly down the mountain. Possibly that's why Zariel chose it, was because if it was going to get attacked, that would be the only way that it could be approached from, unless you're flying, of course, in which case then that doesn't make much of a difference. You have noticed that there is also, by the looks of things, a staircase that has collapsed just near you, and that descends downwards. Where that leads, you don't know.
The winding path, is that big enough for the machines that the devils that are approaching the cathedral? Is it big enough to
The
transport?
trebuchets will not be able to fit along that path. Those trebuchets look to be about 40 or 50 foot in width and easily 60 foot in length. They're pretty big war machines, which are currently, the devils have stopped dragging them forward, and you can see lots of little devils sort of hopping around them, busy, it looks like chaining them to the ground.
Okay.
oh,
Yeoman gestures towards the winding path. This way. They can't bring those big machines up from here, so while they're setting up, we can make our move. But we need to hurry.
I
Okay.
can hurry. Nazaya swishes past Jormund and starts really quickly stepping down.
As you're about to leave, once again you hear Harriman's voice. Forsaken! You are required to attend. Where are you?
Desire starts balancing on tippy toes.
The rest of you?
Moving forwards.
Yep.
Okay, give me stealth checks, please, because you have plus 10, but that doesn't mean you're completely invisible just yet.
And
Ooh.
You did not add in your plus 10 there, Jorman, so your 10
No,
becomes
that's a 20.
Correct. All right. All of you sneak out. No one is going to roll anywhere near those numbers. Let's roll a natural 20. Nope. 7 does not help. So yes, you sneak out of the side of this church, this cathedral, I should say, and start making your way very carefully towards the ledge which leads away from the cathedral. Who is in front? Because the ledge narrows down to 10 foot, so you can walk two abreast, I suppose, if you really wanted to. That's heading off in this direction. So Nazaya is in front with May.
Yeah, I'll go with her.
the horny sisters.
Yeah.
Cousins.
Cousins are in front, preceded or followed by...
Me and Thorn.
I'll probably be in the middle. Yeah.
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 Definitely.
And I'll take up the rear.
All right, so you're coming in from the back.
May is going to don her glasses of the eagle. They're cool, I know.
I know.
Entry in the Matrix.
Give her advantage on any sight perception checks.
She has advantage on sight perception checks. That's fantastic.
I could also see tiny things and things very far away. I copied the blurb into the chat for you.
Lovely, thank you. So you are moving forward cautiously. What are you looking for as you move forward? Are you sort of following the trail, I assume? Anything in specific?
I am looking for any signs that the trail will crumble.
Mm-hmm.
And so any signs that it's not stable. And as we walk, we will see the ground vibrating. So I'm assuming that we'll see something, but
okay,
who knows?
What you're hoping for.
And any traps, because this is hell.
This is indeed hell. Very much so.
Literally.
Nazia, are you looking for anything else? Or just
Nazia is just sneaking ahead of everyone and also listening and trying to kind of gauge if someone else is sneaking around. Like counter spying.
Counter sneak.
With everybody being on high alert and high focus, you can see that there is this sudden yellow glow coming from behind you. And as you turn, the cathedral has been completely enveloped in this dome of golden light, which shimmers and flickers, and you're convinced. You can see, as golden relief emblazoned upon this energy shield, the outstretched wings of angels forming a protective barrier over the entire cathedral. It shimmers with this intense divine light. It spreads its way all the way out to the ledge that you're currently making your way upon. In front of you, you can see that the ledge slowly zigzags its way down this mountainside and the 150-foot drop to the plateau below. And the devils have now started to encamp. It looks as if they're preparing for a siege of some kind. What is perhaps unusual is that they are very regimented. You can see blocks all dressed in heavy black plate mail armor. Some of them, others are walking around with spines and spikes sticking out of them, usually double the size of a man, a normal human man. And structures are being erected. Some are using weird magics to build using the rock around them. But those three massive war machines the devils continue to work on. You can see they've now got 6 chains each, 3 on either side, chaining them to the actual rock face itself. And beyond them, way in the distance, is still that white line, that barrier in the distance. So yes, you continue forward. May?
Can we see any insignias or anything on the demons? The devils, sorry.
Yes, from this distance it is difficult until a very large flag is unfurled and attached. No, not attached. It's being held. It's being held by... It looks like a human who has been skewered onto a pole and is desperately clutching the flag with 2 hands. This large flag unfurls, and the symbol upon it is this large, it almost looks like a bell, but it's definitely also skull-like. And it has 2 lightning bolts at the top and 2 lightning bolts at the bottom, sort of zapping into this skull bell, if you so like. Anyone can make a religion check.
Nah. Nazaya has no idea, I'm sure.
Jormund and Thorn
Ow.
and Mademoiselle LaRouge, you are all aware that this is the symbol of the archdevil himself, the grand devil known as Bell.
He didn't strain any muscles thinking that one up, did he?
He is quite ruthless by all accounts, but not particularly the sharpest button in the box, as they say.
Yeah.
But yes, that is his symbol that is unfurling, and you can see it's going to take them a good few minutes to finish their preparations for their assault upon the cathedral. You continue to make your way down this path, and you realize that there are holes, caves leading off of this path deeper into the mountain itself. And something perhaps more or less terrifying, you're not entirely sure, is that this mountain seems to be part of a range, the culmination of which is this magnificently large volcano with a, from here it looks like a rather strange bump on its one side. Other than that, you're not sure, but it's belching forth lava, and black smoke spews out into the atmosphere. The caves that lead into this rock face are all dark and very, very, very unlit. You continue on your path.
So, hey, Jolmond, what is the, can you see where the path comes out? Are we going to be going down into those devils?
The devils have indeed started to set up a camp, looks like at the base of the path. They know this territory, it's their own territory. They know where the path comes out, and it looks as if they are setting up quite a large stockade of some kind. You can see that there's one devil. He has this rather ornate staff with a ram's skull on it, and he's busy waving it around, dragging great big boulders into place to form quite a neat barrier across it. But there are definitely foundations for a very large gate to be installed as well.
Yes, if we head down this path, we will head towards the encampment. But if we intend to get any of the infernal engines, we will need to make through their front lines. We could either, I suppose, try to continue sneaking around them using your magics to cover us, or potentially maybe one of these tunnels and passageways might lead us an alternate route.
Well, yeah, my magic, it doesn't make us invisible, so I think we'd probably get caught pretty easily if we go down there.
You could try and climb rather than use the pathway. If you got to, for visualization, if you got to the furthest point of the path before it zagged back on its zig, if you got to that furthest point, you could then climb around the side of the mountain and then down, which would take you on a perpendicular to the army, and then you could curve back towards the white stripe, if you so chose. But this rock face is volcanic rock. Looks to be consisting of pumice, which is porous and very fragile. It breaks quite easily, with then large stabbings of schist and other very sharp metamorphic rocks sticking out of it.
Have no guarantee that those tunnels lead anywhere, much less where we want to go.
And this is actually fine to climb. I've had worse.
What of the rest of you? Capable of climbing this, or would one require assistance?
Oh, I mean, I could give it a go. I'm not a great climber, but sure.
I'm not. That's what he said.
Any of you have a rope?
Yes,
Me, I have
actually.
both, huh?
Yeah,
I
then.
think. Yes, I do actually.
Then the two best climbers go front and the last spot, and then we try to just secure each other.
Before we go any further, I'm going to do that odd demonic whispering again, and Ixtek's eyes turn red, and I'm going to cast Detect Magic just to keep in the area of sort of seeing where we're going and looking for traps and whatnot.
Okay, you cast Detect Magic. Each and every single one of those cave entrances illuminates. There is some kind of abjuration magic that has been placed across all of them.
Ooh.
Not entirely sure what, but it's not very powerful at all. But yes.
Caves are protected by some kind of summoning magic, abjuration. I'm not sure what it'll do. It's not particularly powerful, but...
Well, maybe they're
perception.
designed to get us lost or something. Like a weird, creepy cave thing. That would be pretty bad.
Give me a perception
I
check,
will
if you
be
please, Ixtek, as you are looking around with Detect Magic on.
Yes.
Sorry, I had a map open. It was obscuring the roll. What was your roll there? 13. There is some strange magic up ahead on the pathway, slowly moving towards you, you think, or getting bigger. It's difficult to tell.
Down from the demon army, or...
Yes, from up ahead. It definitely looks as if it's approaching towards you slowly.
And there appears to be something approaching from ahead. Our options are quickly getting fewer.
Something big?
No, 3 fairly not particularly big. Humanoid.
Can we see it? No.
No.
Quickly, we'll head up the cliff.
Up the cliff.
Istek,
Alright.
I'll tie you to myself. Nazaya, can you take my?
Good.
Me? I do not
Down.
need any help.
I hand him one end of my rope that I have.
I'll basically fasten Istek around the rope around my waist.
Just to be clear, you're going up.
So as we're going down, did you say that we've basically reached the plateau and we're sort of going up and around, or do we go down further? And
No,
then
you're
under
still
them?
on the pathway, slowly zigzagging down. You haven't yet enacted any plans. You're still on the pathway. There's
Right,
still
okay,
a
in which
good
case-
120 foot down. There's 600 foot above you a volcano. You're welcome to head in whichever direction you so choose.
Okay, then down. Yes.
Yeah, we head to the zig first, I suppose.
Yes. Yes.
And then we
Alright.
climb out and around and down.
All right. Towards the detect the magic that you have detected. How long does that spell last for? I think it's a minute.
Let me
concentration.
check.
Just double check for me, if you please.
Up to 10 minutes. But I can just recast it when it runs out, because I can do it as many times as I want.
That you can. That you can. I'm just bringing up something.
Ooh. Is it a present?
It is a present. Well, it's a kind of a
It's certainly a
present.
surprise.
It's definitely a surprise.
It's a birthday present. It could be for anyone.
It could be
Ah.
for anyone.
I don't want it.
No, I
Don't
don't
worry, I
think
think it's
we
for me.
do.
I think it's for me.
Well, let's see. Okay, so that's that. I want this to pop up, and yes. So you continue towards this bend of the zigzag. I'm not sure if there is an actual word for that. There must be. Someone must have come up with a term for the reflex corner of a zigzag.
Zig.
No, but you're in between the zig and the zag. What are you doing? The zog? I'm not entirely sure. Anyway.
It'd be the bend.
Dog.
The bend?
Let it be named thus.
I don't know. The bend doesn't sound
The
like it's
nails
very
before Zog.
sensible. Yeah.
The armpit.
So yes,
Okay,
you are making your way forward towards this bend here. It widens out quite to your relief as you are slowly making your way down to probably about, I would say, nearly 100 foot wide. So it's quite a plateau. Quite possibly a very good location to build a watchtower if you were so inclined. Of course, that may or may not be something that one would want to do in the future. Who knows? You are no more than 50 feet from the edge of the bend when those three things, if you want to call them that, those three magical shapes suddenly charge forward. And as they do so, they become visible. And these three very well-dressed individuals, humanoids, holding these very curved blades that appear to be made out of bone, are suddenly charging towards you with quite a malevolent look upon their faces. They look as if they are, or should be, assassins of some kind. Can I have I'm sharing the map with you now, so that's how you find yourselves, and we will get Fantasy Grounds to roll initiative for us, as these beasts clearly have a dark intent. Thorn, you're up first. What are you doing?
Okay. Didn't have enough time to plan.
Nope, you didn't. Let's move in there on you folk. What are you doing?
I cast Warding Wind.
You cast Warding Wind.
Nice one.
A strong wind blows around you in a 10-foot radius, moves with you, and remains centered on you. It deafens everybody.
Thank you.
Deafens everybody.
Yep. And attack rolls of any sort of ranged attacks have disadvantage.
Okay, I'm just going to try and draw this in here. Oops, not a straight line.
Oh, and the terrain around me is also difficult terrain now.
Sure. For everybody.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Bien. Très bien.
Okay.
No, I'm into it.
This black
Alright.
circle that I'm clearly not insane because I can't draw a perfect circle with a mouse. That black circle is your warding wind of chaos, mayhem, difficult terrain, and all kinds of other wonderful effects and things. So that's what you cast. Are you moving? Please don't move because otherwise I have to redraw the circle.
No. I stand there, and just whoa, this was surprising. As I cast my spell.
Jormund,
I'm surprised.
there's this howling, roaring wind that has suddenly encapsulated you from out of nowhere. What type of leaves make up your howling wind? Because it's got to have bits of leaf blowing in it.
No, they're made up of like thorns, a little like bark pieces.
Ouch.
They are.
Nice.
Thorns. Not a nice barrier seems to have sprung up around you. What are you doing, Jormund?
Do I still have Peppermint with us?
Yes.
I will I will sort of. I mean, I still can't. I can't communicate with him very well. I'm going to try to speak in Infernal at the Hellhound, assuming it's more of a beast than anything else, to say the infernal words for sick them, and pointing at the 3 figures approaching.
Okay, give me a second here. He was probably around about there. All right, so there is your Hellhound. You are trying to give him words. You're trying to speak to him.
Yeah, I was going to try. I mean,
okay.
I'll just sort of say it, whether or not he does it. I mean, I
and
don't
you're
know.
speaking
like
as an infernal.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
I'm then going to move to here if I can.
Sure.
And I'm going to rest a hand upon Nazia's back, and tell her, "Show us the unstoppable might of your fighting prowess." And I'm going to cast protection from evil upon her.
Right. I need a point of clarification before you jump into the explanation of that spell. Thorn, everybody within your warding wind is deafened. Is that correct?
Yes, including me.
Right.
The Desire goes,
Great.
what?
So there's this...
They're all deafened. Yes. Got you. Okay.
It's very loud. It's just going. It's like we're inside a hurricane.
Yes.
Yeah. Yormund is also in Draconic swearing at Thorn.
Yeah.
As loud as he can.
As he possibly can.
But yes, I'm going to cast protection from evil and good upon Nazia until the spell ends, which is concentration up to 10 minutes. One willing creature, assuming you're willing, gains protection against, in this case, fiends, which provides any fiend that attacks you disadvantage on attack rolls. You cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed either by such fiends as well.
There you go. There you go. You in this maelstrom of chaos, Mademoiselle La Rouge. May, what are you doing?
Dear, I'm not allowed to swear here, so I will merely say that May lets forth a torrent of French swearing, the like of which has never been heard or seen before, will never be heard or seen again. And it's not been heard or seen now because it's too freaking windy. I am... Can I make it? Probably. I want to climb this. Can I climb this?
The rock formation to the left?
Yeah.
You can give me an acrobatics or an athletics check, please, as you try to climb with this buffeting wind pulling upon you. Yes, you start to make it up. However, as you do so, I'm going to zoom in here for those of you that don't have the map shared. As you do so, these chains which adorn the rock wrap up and try to grab you.
Oh, bien.
One gets a natural 1, so we'll start that animation off because that's what needs to happen.
Chain.
The second chain gets an armor class of 16.
My armor class is 15.
It wraps around you. It deals 4 points of damage.
Yeah.
And prevents you from moving forward. You need to give me an opposed strength check next round. Well, give me a strength saving throw right now, as a matter of fact.
I will do that. So I have uncanny dodge, which means that I take half damage. But I'm assuming that I can't dodge a chain that's wrapped around me, so it doesn't count.
No, you take half damage. That's fine. It's a trap, so you take half damage, so it's 2 points of damage. But you are now held firmly in place by this chain as it starts to drag you towards one of the spines of these rocks.
Oh, it's like that then, is it?
It is
well,
indeed.
At least I can hear now.
Yes, it drags you out of that tumultuous maelstrom. Indeed. Ixtec!
Oh, nice.
You watch as Mademoiselle disappears in this haze of thorns and
I'm sure she's fine. She knows what she's doing. Do I know what these devil creatures are? Like, do I know anything about them?
You can give me a religion check.
Yes. This is exactly why I became good at religion. Yes. No, why I took the skill.
These look to be difficult to tell because they were in that strange armor that was quite shiny once the spell was dropped and that you could actually see them. Whatever that spell was, they must have been using invisibility of some kind. These look to be fairly high-ranking devils. They don't look impish. They don't look stupid. They look very, very sharp. Not only mentally, but also their features. Very angular, very pointed chins. Their eyebrows sort of almost were sickle-shaped. There's a strong possibility that these are barbed devils, as they were so called. Many books referred to them as barbed devils, known particularly for hooking their victims upon themselves and dragging them through hell. Quite literally.
Well, I'm just gonna have to cast Fireball. There's nothing else to do.
You just have to.
Does your wind of flatulence block line of sight, Thorn?
No, I don't
No,
think so.
it does
Just
not.
difficult terrain. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Yes.
So you hurl fireball at them.
Yes, right in the middle, and then they have to dex saving throw
Yes.
with my DC, which is something.
Okay, good.
I'm so sorry.
You'll hit all three of them.
Gosh, why don't I have this?
Just click
8
on
plus
if you
2
click under
plus
action.
your modifier.
Yeah. Well, the first one rolls and gets a 19. Second one rolls and gets an 11. And the third one rolls and gets an 11. So I'm assuming the 2 11s fail and the 19 succeeds. That's what I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Roll
I'm gonna work
your
it out well.
infernal damage.
Yes. That is 8d6 fire damage.
All right.
Bien.
And half of it
Nice.
on a successful save.
Nice. You watch in horror as your flame and fire washes over them, and one of them, his hand on fire, licks the flame before swallowing it and then looks back at you and continues to walk forward.
Oh no, that's just not. That's not nice. That's not good.
We should have brought a genasi.
Although it is fireball, right?
Mm.
The flame seem to have no effect.
What?
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 Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Jenny, the
so they-
player,
All right,
are
and
aware.
fireball, I'm busy debating in my own head here. Fireball, it still very specifically states does not set things on fire. Is that correct?
No, it does.
It
It
sets
ignites.
things-
It ignites flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried.
Okay, that's a pity. All right, never mind then. Yes, so that is the result of your power. That is what happens.
Do any of them look like it hurt at all?
No.
No. Jenny knows devils are quite often resistant to fire. Ixtec, unfortunately, does.
There we go. Well, X-Tech now does.
Ixtec now has a
Nazaya.
clue, yes.
Any shadows around?
Thousands.
So I'm debating. I could shadow step behind them, then I get advantage on my first attack. I'd like to do that if there's a handy shadow behind them.
Absolutely. The
And-
sky is always slightly overcast. There's lightning flashes all around you. So yes, you
Then
move
Nazaya-
yourself to which one you want to be behind. It's easy enough.
Nazaya takes a few steps forwards as if she was running towards them. Then she just disappears, comes back behind them, and has advantage on her first attack.
You are attacking devil number 3.
Advantage, click, and then we're going to
I want him to have a name.
barb the devil. Miss. Well, then the second attack. Yeah, well, that probably looked good. Didn't work though, and for Shadow Step I already used up my bonus action, so that's it. Nazaya goes. Oh.
Oh, it turns and looks at you with horrific intent. Its name is not B.
I bare my teeth and tusks at him. Her. Them, I don't know.
Yes.
It.
But Avernus turns and glowers at you as you do your maneuvers. That's a pretty dance.
Thank you.
Hellhound did not hear what you said. He just... sorry, Peppermint. Let me just change his name quickly, otherwise I will forever call him Hellhound. So Peppermint did not hear what you said. So Peppermint is going to just run around in circles for a little bit because he does not see the approaching devils as a problem. Because, you know, they're around. They're a thing. And so Peppermint just sort of wanders around a little bit. And then suddenly he's friendly to you, Jormund. Is that correct? And your allies or just to you?
He perceives me as a leader, so I imagine in the case, I mean, if they are canine, it'd be like a pack leader. And this would maybe be interpreted as my pack.
Sure. He bounds away towards poor old Mademoiselle LaRouge and tries to attack one of the chains.
Aww.
Did you call her old?
Yeah, he grips one of the chains quite firmly in his teeth and starts to yank on it. Starts to play with the chain. The chain starts to get hot, May, as you realize that he's breathing fire upon it and it's metal.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
D'accord.
So that's what's happening there. Our first devil, who no longer has a name, and I didn't have the character sheet open. I'm sorry.
Peter.
What?
I just named him Peter.
All right. His name is what I typed in as Peter. His name is... I'm going to just change that because otherwise it puts him there. So his name is Apetrot, because that's how I spell Peter when not looking at the keyboard. No. Apetrot is going to act first. He simply lunges forward and he is going to attack Thorn. Let's just make sure 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yes, he does have the distance to cover to get to you, Thorn.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just make sure here at the start of each of its turns. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. Makes... Okay, so it claws at you and hits rather badly. Have you got any special powers? No?
Loads, but let's see what he does.
Okay. 6 points damage.
Okay.
He then claws at you again.
Mm-hmm.
And misses.
Mm-hmm.
But you realize that miss was because he basically swiped low, which caused you to step back, and then his tail bursts out of the back of his armor and tries to impale you.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Which it does on a 22.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
For 10 points of damage.
Okay.
Don't hurt tree!
Okay. As you being slapped around by this devil. He does not look like the one that burnt down your entire little forest. Bravdas, who is now facing off against Nazaya, does exactly the same thing. And he swipes at you once and hits with a 25.
Oh, yeah, he so hits me.
For 4 points of damage.
Ooh.
He
Sorry,
swipes...
he does have disadvantage on his attacks because of protection from evil.
Ooh, yeah.
He does indeed.
Thank you, Jormund.
He does indeed. So, I will roll a second d20 manually. His 25 becomes a 4, so I will erase the 4 damage from you. Good call on that. Thank you for reminding me.
Jormund.
There we are. So that's with disadvantage. His next attack, which is another claw. It's an 11. That's a complete miss. And his tail swipes out in frustration. A natural
That one
20
hits.
was rolled, but a 14 making a dirty 20 was done. So again, lucky there. Oh, for 5 points of damage. Fantasy Grounds is on your side tonight.
Thank you, Fantasy Ground.
Perfectly fine by me. And then Fagros, the last of the devils, sees that his companion is busy playing with Nazia and sees a very vulnerable looking Ixtec on the side. So he is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, get to Ixtec.
Hello.
He looks at you. I shall enjoy using you, he says as he looks down into your pale complexion. He is going to swipe at you. Of course,
I'm going to use shield, my magical ring.
Yes.
As he swipes, Ixtec sort of raises their hand, and the ring on their finger glows, and a sort of magical barrier shows up.
Nice.
Like a shield on their arm.
And that raises your armor class too?
By 5.
Fantastic.
Ooh.
Which puts your armor class at what?
18.
80. Lovely. So, as he slashes at you, yes, this barrier pops up. What colour is it?
Red.
His claws rake across it. Cunning, he says as he swipes again for you. The barrier is still in effect, however, just the sheer weight of his first hit knocks you back. You get struck for a grand total of 6 points of damage, and then that tail of his comes swinging over the top, trying to stab at you, but you've moved out of the way. It simply buries itself in the ground and then pulls back. You can see spines and barbs all over it. You do not want to be hit by this thing. Thorn, back to you.
Sure. Yep.
Is this devil standing in front of you?
How much HP do I have at the moment? I think it says I have.
You've got 16 wounds at the moment. Out of 45.
Oh, I
hit
see.
points. Yes.
Right. Okay. It doesn't show you how many. Right. Okay. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Very good call. All right, you've got the spell. Drop it upon yourself to receive the blessings of your deity.
It doesn't have the plus though, unfortunately.
So it's 6 to heal.
Yes,
And
although
then?
Cure Wounds is plus my thingy,
Ooh.
but it doesn't have it on there for some reason.
That's curious.
What's
We
my
can fix that
spell
later on.
Ability modifier.
What's your bonus?
Yeah, so it will be 2.
An additional 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're on 8 wounds as you illuminate yourself with this healing magic. Is it also thorns?
What do you mean?
Your magic, how does it express itself? What does it look like?
Oh, I just regenerate. So all the fire just goes, and my bark just regrows, and wherever I've been slashed or impaled, or it just sort of goes, and reforms.
The devil smiles. You doing anything else? Does that break the concentration of your wind?
Roll for it, right?
Yeah, well, I had.
No,
I should have
wait,
rolled
that's
for
a-
the attack when I was attacked, actually.
DC is 10 plus half
Yeah.
the damage you take.
Correct.
10 plus 8.
So D20.
Yeah. You're fine.
Yep. Okay. So, no, I don't think it does. I think I keep the wind. Although I'm probably going to drop it now anyway.
Okay.
During this turn, so that sort of drops.
Yes.
As Thorn sort of realizes that they're not ranged attackers, and it's kind of useless. No, that's it. That's what I'm going to be doing.
You complete the wind drops down Jorman. Suddenly, all the sound of Avernus washes back over you as this hurricane ceases.
That's better. At this point, Yorman will move behind Thorn.
That will provoke an attack
And-
of opportunity.
I will provoke the attack of opportunity. Actually, one moment, just before I provoke an attack. Just before. Yeah, just before I do, I just want to check.
I do.
Let's see. Okay, yes, I will provoke the attack of opportunity.
He slashes at you with his claw and just misses you.
And as I move, can I draw my chains?
Sure. They're wrapped around your arms anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, be just dropping them and giving them an extension. And I'm going to use my action to strike at Fagras with my primary chain.
My hero.
You say as the chain impales you in your back because you wasn't
Good. Never know.
Fight again!
Okay, that is 6 points of damage to Fagras.
All right.
And then with my bonus action, I'm going to use my secondary chain to take another swing.
Make your attack. That's also a hit.
Ooh.
Describe for 2 points of damage. Describe your chains to us.
So unfurling from his vambraces, these lengths of spiked chains attached to what appears to be two bladed edges, lower themselves down to hit the ground. And as he sort of flicks them forward and creates these two large arcs, they lash outwards, almost like a praying mantis's blades, as he suddenly whips them back into the back of the creature, slashing with his primary hand first, and then the secondary cutting into its shoulders.
This whirling dervish is happening behind you, May, as the chain continues to drag you towards one of the spines and get hotter. What are you doing?
But you know, I've been chained up before, but it was more fun. I suppose I can make a dexterity saving throw.
Yep, to try and
wiggle
disengage.
out.
It's acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
D'accord. Acrobatics.
You need to beat a 12.
Bien. Oh.
Do it.
Encore
Do
une
it.
fois.
Do it.
Pas mal.
Hey!
19. 19.
As the famous gnome called Houdini once said, it's all just a matter of slipping your ankles out. So yes, you managed to disengage completely from the chain. That is your action, though. You do have a movement if you want to. And your bonus
I am
action.
going to... Do I think that I can jump down without getting tangled up in chains again?
Yes.
Then that is what I shall do.
All right, where are you going to jump? Because you will have to jump and then move 5 feet to get away from this horrific rock.
Yes, I want to be here. Is that possible?
Yes, absolutely.
Bien.
You jump, land, roll, and then move a little bit. And that's
Thank you, disgusting puppy.
Ixtec. Chains have lashed out around you into this devil. He seems to be perhaps changing his tactic in terms of whom he is attacking.
The shield has faded, so I am going to cast the good old workhorse of the Warlock, Eldritch Blast, a couple of times at him until he thinks better of his wicked ways.
Okay.
That's my plan.
That's a hit.
Hit.
Deal
Excellent.
damage.
Let's see. So that's. Oh no, wait, because I have to hit twice. Yes, I have to roll twice.
So 11 points of eldritch damage done to him. He
Yep, force
snarls
damage.
at you.
I'm gonna hit him with another one. No,
He
I'm not.
dodges out of the way. Once burnt, not again, thanks, darling. You gonna move or anything else? You done?
No, I'm staying there. I think I'll be provoking 2 attacks of
You
opportunity
would.
to try to move. So I'm just gonna stay right here.
Nazaya.
Desire swings her X spear around and tries to hit the devil somewhere in the face region, hoping that their senses work similar to those of humans. So I am going to try and hit him with my melee weapon. to use the stunning strike if it connects.
If it connects, let it connect. It connects.
It connects. So he gets the usual damage, and then I'm spending another key point to pump energy into my weapon. So there's a slight sizzling sound and tiny black arcs of lightning that jump from the blade over into his face, and I'm trying to stun him.
He gets to
and
make...
he gets to make a Constitution saving throw against 30.
He succeeds quite successfully, sadly.
Well, that's why I can't have nice things. I still have another attack regularly. That's another hit. And then I'm going to 1/4 back, and then I'm follow up with a left hook, because I'm going to use my bonus action to just hit him with an unarmed strike, which also counts as a magic weapon because my fists are awesome.
Lovely.
But it's a miss.
Yes,
he ducks away.
back. Oh, you are something fun to play with, I will admit. And I like the little horns. Peppermint is going to desperately try and make an intelligence check here, which is...
Come on, Peppermint, you can do it. You can do it.
It's not likely.
You can do it.
He makes an intelligence check and fails, so he continues to chew on the chain.
No! Such a good boy.
As he tries to rip and rend it from the rock.
Mon Dieu, I just realized he's a hot dog.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Petrot cringes slightly and then decides that he wants charcoal for the barbecue, and so attacks poor old Thorn here. However, he is not going to do his usual stuff. He is... No, he is. He's going to do his usual stuff. So he claws at you twice, Thorn. First one missing as you are slowly getting wise to how he sort of swipes. His second one catches you, though. You going to do anything to do about that?
Nope, I'll just take it.
4 points of damage, and then that insidious tail shoots up and clips you solidly across the chin. For 11 points of damage. Bah, 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 thwomp.
Oh, yep, that one really hurt. Yep.
Oh no.
Wood chipper.
Wood chipper. There we go. Bravadas looks down at you, Nazaya, and is going to attack. Claw. Misses.
Disadvantage.
Another claw. Okay, so that was the disadvantage. Thank you for reminding me. How long does that last for, Jormund?
10 minutes, or until I break
Forever.
concentration.
Okay, so that was the first attack, completely broken. The second one was disadvantage. That one does connect.
Ouch. So finally she gets her first hit.
First hit, and it's for 7 points of damage. The tail, with disadvantage, comes swiping in at you, and it connects.
Ow!
As it slams into you as well for 12 points of damage. He hits you once, and then just stabs down with that tail like a scorpion. Ixtec, you fare no better, perhaps. This individual strikes at you. Let's see your magics protect you now. He swipes his first claw at you and gets...
Ooh.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
So, you take 7 points of damage.
All
At least
right.
it was a claw attack. And then his second claw swipes in at you and hits, unless you've got some magic up your sleeve.
I could use shield again.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You're gonna. All right.
The shield comes, they sort of lashed across the face, and then the shield comes up, protecting against the tail attack.
Well, the tail's about to come in now.
Ah!
Oops, wrong person. I rolled against the wrong person.
Yay!
Although it doesn't matter.
Apples.
21.
It hurt itself in its confusion.
It hurts itself.
Own
Sadly,
goal.
And 21 will hit you, yeah?
Oh yeah.
All right, for another 7 points of damage as it
Just
smacks you.
ching
left, right,
hop.
and-
Ow! Ow!
Thorn,
This is not going well.
these are pretty tough devils. Thorn,
Yeah, no, that's just because I don't have any hit points.
you
Like, at all.
hear, and actually everybody hears, this very loud sound it vibrates the very ground for that matter. And it is this terrific bellowing, screeching, screaming sound. And it appears to be coming from the actual mountain itself. As that happens,
Good.
the devil standing in front of you looks up and says, "The bastards!" What are you doing?
Yeah, why exactly are they bastards?
You're
Could
asking
you-
him that?
Yeah.
Well, because now we're all going to die, aren't we?
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Oh
Um,
no.
I'm gonna wild shape into a wild goat. Into a giant.
All right.
Alright.
He looks down at you. You are now a goat.
I'm quite big. I'm a giant goat.
Oh, giant. Sorry, I thought you said wild goat. Okay, so you're a
I didn't
giant.
say wild. I meant giant. I'm a large beast.
Yeah.
He looks at you squarely in the eyes. Nice horns. Are you doing anything else, Billy?
Headbutt him? I don't know.
Oh god, I should have done this before I turned into.
Life choices. Life choices of Thorn.
I wanted to try and get Iztec to get onto the giant goat onto the
Yeah,
back.
X-Tech, now you just hear this goat going, ah!
Ah!
Yes. You can give me an animal handling check, X-Tech, if you like.
Sure. I mean,
Couldn't
You
hurt.
speak goatee.
oh.
What did you get?
Well, it didn't. I rolled it on the thing. I rolled a 19, but it didn't show up. I can roll again.
Let's double click on it again.
Come on, roll, damn you.
13.
not
You get a
bad.
sense that this giant goat is slightly frustrated with its life choices and possibly wishes that it could have done something differently.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Mood.
Okay, well, in that case, then I'm just gonna ram the devil in front of me.
I thought we were filming a partnership here. All right, fine, you slam
No.
into the devil. Make your attack.
I apologetically go. "Brrr."
I will bring up the stats for a giant.
Why are you apologizing?
Well, I agree. I thought we were forming this kind of, dialogue. I just.
And then you
Yes,
ram him because you're a goat. It's in your nature, I
Yeah.
suppose. Okay, I'm
Yes.
going to roll this for you because it's just faster if you don't mind.
Yes, I know. It's fine.
You have +5 to hit. Natural 20!
Lucky goat.
That is not an apologetic ram. That is not something you by accident. That is straight into his face type of damage.
Goat
that
was a good
That is-
idea.
That is not a friendly amount of damage as you slam
Nice.
into his nose with the satisfactory sense of cracking bone and cartilage. This black blood spews out of his face as he looks in horror at this goat attack.
Betrayal.
Yes.
Wait, isn't that double because it's crit?
It is doubled already, but unfortunately it's a non-magical attack, so...
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. Did you just get the goat? I just tried to drop it
did.
on you. So you can
Yes.
now roll for it. There we go. Okay, Jormund, things have got weird.
Danger.
Okay. Just to check distances and stuff. Is Bravdas 30 foot away from me?
Bravdas.
The one up
5'10". He's more. 5,
Is he?
10, 15, 20, 25. No, he's 30 feet away from you.
30 foot away?
5,
Okay.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet away from you, roughly.
Okay. So, at this point, Yorman takes both of his chains and begins sort of spinning them behind his back. As he does so, the blades are sort of kicking into the molten dirt and earth, creating like this, almost like this shower of dirt and cinders behind him. He says, "Enough of this. Do you know who I am? I am your Menefex Galondir. And if you remain here, then I will ensure your doom. I will channel Divinity of Conquest. They need to make me a wisdom saving throw or become frightened of me for 1 minute. All three."
Nice.
I think Nazaya is frightened.
Yes. A wisdom saving throw, you say?
Yes, please.
A Petro is mortified. A Petro is so terrified he doesn't know what to do with himself. Possibly because he also knows what's about to happen. So a Petro is terrified.
And cracked face.
Yeah. Brovdas is... What's the DC?
The DC is... apologies for this
I
one.
don't think it's as high as 16.
I wrote it down over here. Conquest DC is... hang on.
Probably
I
8
think it
plus
is...
3 plus your charisma modifier.
Yes, so 8 plus... So that is 14 is the DC.
All right, so he is not intimidated by your posturing. Fagris, however, is also absolutely frightened. So they're going to move as far away
Nice.
from you as possible. Is that correct?
That is correct. They
Right.
retreat from me.
They do. That does not provoke an attack of opportunity, or does it?
I
It
have
will-
already
believe.
used my reaction,
So it wouldn't make a difference in that case. All right, so they're going to retreat.
Well, they're within my my threatened range as well because
Are
of
they?
my.
Yeah, I don't
width.
think that they would provoke an attack of opportunity. I stand to be corrected. If they do, I apologise, but you don't have to worry about it. This
If they're
one,
running, they're running. That's fine.
They're
If
running
they just
away.
retreat,
They retreat. Yeah, it's a full
yeah,
action.
then they don't
Yeah.
cause an
There we
attack.
are. All right, so he's
opportunity.
rushing off. Sorry,
the wrong-
Bravdas.
that's
the
wrong one.
It was a Petro. 5, 10, 15.
I mean, I'm fine with them running away, but
Yeah. So they're going to go off in that direction. I've just moved them away now so that I don't forget when we get there. Are you doing anything else, Jormund?
So that was my action.
Yes.
I will then move basically 5, 10, 15, 20. Basically just move to run interference. 25. Yeah, I'll just move to here.
Okay. Mademoiselle Larouche.
Mademoiselle Rouge has jumped from the chainy rock,
Yes.
rolled to a landing.
rock
She
chain.
hears Nazaya scream, and she looks up, and her face is this sort of mask of fury, which you don't see very often from Mo because she's very, very calm. And she leaps leaps to her feet, dives across the terrain, pulls her rapier as she goes, and just says, "You do not hurt the family." And she stabs him in the back. Which is hopefully going to go pretty well. This is a magical weapon, and I have advantage.
You do indeed. You stab
Très bien.
deep.
Nice.
Oh, that's the lower lumbar. That's going to hurt.
Oh, he's
Yes,
educated
yes.
for a devil. I feel.
Oh.
Was he studying to become a massage
13
therapist?
points of damage. I don't know why it automatically resisted, because he's got resistance against bludgeoning, piercing. Oh, he does have resistance. Yeah, he's got resistance against magic too.
Oh,
But still, 6 points of damage as your blade slices into his lower lumbar region, causing him intense
Come
pain
on.
and many sleepless nights moving forward. That's your first attack. Are you doing anything else? Have you got another attack? Have you got something else you can
no.
No?
I think that is it.
Are we? Ixtec.
I'm going to wheel around and aim a couple of my patented Eldritch Blast bolts at the one attacking Sire as well, because it seems like that's the one still fighting.
Yes. Make your attacks.
Yes.
Your red energy, I believe you said it was, lances
Yes.
out, slaps him across the shoulder blade.
Damage. And...
Oh,
Ooh, very nice. And
Yeah.
another attack.
just
Oh, no.
just misses as he's dodging and weaving and moving around. Are you doing anything else? Although
No.
darters. All right, Nazaya.
Nazaya swings her weapon once upwards, trying to get him.
Oh yes.
Oh, nice. That's a hit.
As you
So
slam
she
into him.
rams it upwards, tries to find a place somewhere where there are not so many barbs, and sinks it into his flesh.
Oh.
Very
10
nice.
points of damage.
And then she uses it kind of as a stab upwards to go for his throat and then headbutt him because the goat kind of inspired her. So that's one unarmed strike is my second normal attack.
Yeah,
Teenagers are
miss.
so easily influenced.
you were using
Yes,
it to
it's
pull you up.
dangerous.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then she gives him a headbutt.
which unfortunately
Which is
also
also-
misses. You connect with
Miss.
his head,
It's
but you
probably
realize
tuck.
it's very bony. It's very bony.
So they've locked horns.
Peppermint yelps after hearing that tremendous blast.
Oh no.
And let me just double check here. His speed is that. He goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. He is legging it down the path. He's heading towards the zag of the zig, basically further down the mountain pass. Top of the round, there is an almighty... You think it's a cheering sound coming from the valley down below, which momentarily causes you to look down. And those 3 magnificently massive trebuchets now suddenly all flick forward, dragging behind them these large boulders which are unflamed, and they get slingshotted, flung forward towards the cathedral, which is only about 300 or 400 feet away from where you currently are. The first one comes sailing towards the cathedral. The demon that fired it is pretty good at doing that. But it misses the cathedral. It misses the cathedral. I will roll a d8. Choose one number to represent your location.
5.
5 it is. There is an explosion of rock and debris that showers down around near you as this boulder slams into the side of the mountain. As it does so, you hear it passing overhead, and it is just the sounds of people screaming in pain as it explodes against the rock. The second one fires. This one is unfortunately by a fairly younger artillery devil. He completely misses the mountain and everything else. Even from this distance, you all hear rippled laughter from the ranks as they all watch as this one goes sideways and very far to the left. The third one is more of a skilled devil. He's done this before. He fires and gets a natural 20. There is this massive eruption of flame and fire across the temple, the cathedral itself, as it's a direct hit. You all watch as that yellow shield shimmers and flickers, but seems to hold. I'm going to make a note here. That is the first direct hit against the cathedral. Those are the 3 attacks. You can see why the devils wanted to get off of the mountain, because, well, things are not going to be very pleasant, especially if they continue to miss. So yes, that is that. Do they get to make a new saving throw each round, Michael?
At the end of each of their
At the
turns.
end of each round. Hit I'm going to put there 1, and it was a natural 20. Okay, so it's going to count as 2 hits. Right, so that is my note there. At the end of the round, they get to make a check, so they continue to quite happily, as a matter of fact, continue down the mountain as fast as they possibly can. To your dismay, you watch as they're busy running down the mountain, you can see they're busy throwing something in front of them. It looks like blood. And as the blood splatters against their armor, they disappear. They literally just vanish. You can give me an Arcana check if you like.
Sure. Do I still have my detect? No, wait, that's concentration. But
Yeah, concentration, long gone.
yeah.
No.
Yormond. Oh, dear, oh,
I know
dear.
nothing.
I don't know how many times I've pressed these
nothing.
buttons this game. It's oh, look at that from one to the other. It's crazy. My poor computer. It's like I can't load all these files so quickly. All right, so yes, Ixtech. They are using blood magic to cast invisibility upon themselves, and you realize now that's what they had done beforehand, and it's obviously quite potent down here because it shouldn't work that quickly. Blood magic is usually ritualistic magic, not instantaneous magic. That's what you know. Down here it seems to operate slightly differently. Bravdas is the only one who's left. He looks at you, Nazaya. Then he looks
From very up close.
Yes, very up close, and he's like, I am slightly turned on by this, he says as he swipes at you. He swings, misses the first one, so he kind of lightly caresses your back. The second one...
Disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage, sorry. So that would be for that one, that would be for both of them. And then the second attack is an 18. So that's a hit. The caress turns into his nails just biting into the back of your flesh. And then his tail, which slides up your outer leg, arcs around, tries to impale.
I don't like this.
And he has disadvantage, so that was an automatic fail anyway. So yes, a complete showing from him, not very good. Thorn.
Thorn, as a goat, is going to paw the ground and go, and I'm going to charge into the back.
I've been eating.
You know, be like,
I've got a quick question for Thorn. Are you an actual goat, or are you like a topiary, like a goat?
ooh, that's a
Topiary.
good one. That's good.
Goat.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
I'm torn by that decision. Nonetheless, you
Are
charge
you thorn by
forward.
it?
You're thorned by
Yeah,
that
you're
decision.
thorn by that decision.
Yeah, oh god. All right, yes, you charge forward on this thing. Please, someone put me out of my misery. I mean, put the demon out of its misery. Devil out of its misery. Yes.
Anything, put something out of its misery.
Yes.
We're very sorry, Guy, but since Janet can make so much puns, the pun energy is
It kind of pulls up and it's just got to be released. I like it. You charge, but perhaps are not used to goating around, and as a result, you slam into the back of him. But he's got as many spikes and spines as you do, so you kind of get locked up in these brambles.
Yep.
I think that's your only action.
Yeah, that's all I can do as a goat.
Shouldn't sell yourself short like that. You are a good goat. You have so much potential.
yeah.
Jormund, what are
very
you
much.
doing?
I really appreciate that.
Oh dear.
Yorman puffs out his armored-plated chest and just begins to very casually walk upwards towards Nazaya. I'm going to provoke as I move to here. If he wants to take a swipe.
If he wants to take it, he's angry. Yes, he
can take a swipe if he wants to.
He misses.
I sort of give him like the evil side eye as he takes his swing. I'll then channel my lay on hands into my palm and basically just tap Nazaya once more and heal 15 hit points and say,
Ooh.
"You've got this."
Yeah.
I growl directly into the face of the devil. I've got this. Yarr.
I like that. May?
I've witnessed this. I see what Yeoman is trying to do. I respect that. I hold my action. That's fine.
For what?
She's got this.
What are you holding for?
I'm holding until Nazaya has attacked.
Once Nazaya has attacked, you will then attack.
Yes.
Okay. I will come back to you then. Ixtec.
I do not respect what he's doing, and I'm going to throw more bolts of fire energy at him.
Alright. Make your attacks as you fire off. That's a hit! Flame slams against the side of his head, massively engulfing him. Nazaya, you watch as this bolt of energy just shoots directly towards the back of his head, twice slamming into his skull.
So close.
It's the second one that causes him to suddenly cough black fluid from the back of his throat. Ah!
I try to wriggle aside so I don't get hit by.
Get hit by
Whatever
it.
that is.
You're up, Nazaya.
I'm going to
Oh wait,
pummel him.
yes, you're up. Sorry.
Yes. I'm just going to pummel him 2 hits to his throat and another headbutt. Let's see.
Maybe it'll work this time.
Cool.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
1 hit to the throat.
Nice.
Yes.
Another one, left fist is coming up. That looks good. And then a jump up and again trying to gouge him with my horns, eyes, anything I can hit. And again, we're just locking horns.
Just locking horns with him. You're
trying to bite his nose off.
trying to bite his nose off. There is a growling, barking, shrieking coming from Peppermint. He's standing at the edge of the precipice and he's kind of looking back. He's sort of furtive and he's looking at you, Jormund. He's like, as he barks in your general direction. Difficult to bark when half your throat's on fire. As he looks like he wants to go.
We've got to leave. Now.
Brr.
May's action.
May, you get to attack.
I cannot talk to the goat seriously.
The goat is difficult to speak to seriously. You stab into him. Oh, look at that damage.
I stab my rapier in and up.
Oh! Wow. Again, blood starts to pour out of him. Is that your action? Or you got anything else? You good?
Just how much flicking hit points does he have?
Yeah,
So
this guy
many
has
hit
a
points.
lot of hit points.
That was 28 damage. I thought that would have done it. But apparently
Yeah.
not.
No, he's
Yeah, well, it's
he's
partially
bleeding.
resisted.
He's
This is 14
bleeding.
damage.
Yeah, he's bleeding. That much. So you're done?
I'd like to take a glance over at what Puppo is looking at. Can I see from where I
Papa
am?
is looking. The trebuchets have all been pulled back into their position.
Loaded.
And you can see that they're busy loading up another round to fire. Bravdas is completely surrounded. He's bleeding. He's not looking very good. And he raises his hand. Wait. I'm sure we can come to a deal here. We're all sensible folk. We don't all want to die up here. I want to make a deal.
No devil deals is what Ixtag said.
Suit yourself, then he
say that.
swipes at you.
Oh.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Well, he doesn't need it, he only got a 3. So he swipes at you. He's not going to get his full attack rounds because he was trying to parlay. So he just gets his 2 claws. And with disadvantage, I forgot. So that was a 14 or a 2. So he misses twice. Thorn, you're up.
Guess I'll just... I'm behind him, right?
Yep.
So I guess I just go rear up on my hind legs and go... "Brr, brr."
You hit him right at the base of the tail. Oh.
Ooh.
Yep. for 4 points of damage as your little horny head smacks into it.
Hey, big horny head, giant goat here.
Yay!
Are you doing anything else?
I'm just continuing to go.
Right, Jormund.
All right, Yormund is going to realize what Doggo's trying to say and hasten this up. While he would like to have had Nazaya finish her somewhat honorable duel, he takes both of his chains and begins a very special dervish. He spirals both his blades simultaneously, creating almost like a vortex of chains, and then he suddenly wrenches them forward to rip them taut. I'm going to use my regular attack, my extra attack, and then my bonus action to hit with my offhand. So, primary attack
Is a hit. Do
Nice,
your damage. Yep, you're cutting into him.
second primary attack.
Cutting
Natural
through.
20.
Ooh!
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah!
Eat it.
For 10.
And
Yeah.
and then my secondary attack.
What? What? What?
Nice!
How does
You
he
do not
die?
mess with
How does he
Norman!
die?
As he wrenches the two chains forward, his head just
Blood, black spray everywhere. Give me a dexterity saving throw to Nazaya if you wish to avoid being hit by the black
Yes,
spray.
I wish to avoid that.
You do.
no.
You
No,
wish
I-
to.
I use my ring of dodging.
You flick gracefully out of the way as this headless corpse
Nope.
drops onto the ground. That was
I'll,
your full action. So,
Yep. I'll sort of whip the chains back around so that I'm grabbing onto the handles once more. And as he's sort of dusting off the blood, he says to Nazaya very sincerely, "Apologies, but the dog says we must leave."
No apologies. Thank you for the help.
I was
Mademoiselle
going to ask
Rouge,
you a question.
what are you
But
doing?
no.
May?
I was going to ask him a question, but I suppose now I will not. Shall we go?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I think
Sonny,
volcano-related things might be happening.
I'm gonna go over to Iztek. How's it going?
We're still in combat, so I
Oh.
have to still keep you to initiative. So May,
d'accord.
you can move?
I'm going to replace the glasses of seeing things.
Yes.
I thought that they would go green on the screen, but they haven't. I really wanted my eyes to disappear, but apparently it's not that day. Just thought it would be really creepy. Which direction was the path again?
The path from on the map here winds. I will do an arrow actually. The path now will start to head down that way.
On y va, she says, and just sort of walks off nonchalantly down the path. Just kind of saunters away.
This direction?
Oui.
We? Ixtec?
I'm going to walk over to the others in a sort of "are we gonna go" way, and just were we climbing that path? Goes straight down to the army.
It does indeed. It does indeed. Anyone can
Come
answer.
on.
You can answer.
Oh, we'll-
Talk is free.
We're gonna head a bit further down to where the bend is, and then we'll climb down. We'll avoid
You're
the,
at
the
the
bend.
bend.
Oh, we're at the bend. Oh yes, then
That
we'll
was the
climb down.
plateau. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, right.
Sort of this way instead of.
May,
Okay, I
May.
didn't realize we were at the bend. Sorry. I
Yeah.
thought we were still going for that. In that case, I will go to this edge.
Yeah, you can move yourself. Yeah.
Okay. So this is, I guess, where we're climbing down. I go and look over the edge, see if we can climb down there.
Yes, it is a 100-foot drop of
D'accord.
spiky pumice
Awesome.
and schist as you are heading down that direction. So, Ixtec, that's what you're doing, Nazaya?
Yeah.
Nazaya just poofs shadow steps up here, hunkers down, and looks for a good way to get down.
Give me a survival
Stay away
check.
from those chains, huh? They like to get a little bit friendly.
You warn everyone about the chains and the stones, yes? Nazaya takes a step away.
Whoop.
Give me a survival check, if you please.
Survival.
Yes.
Sure. There you are. Flonk. Yes.
It's difficult.
We could jump.
100
Not that
foot.
far. Peppermint does what it always, what they always do, is it looks in the direction that it should be heading, and then it rushes back to you, Jormund, and starts doing little circles around you, desperate to do something. This takes us to the top of the round. The trebuchets fire. The first one sails towards the cathedral and misses rather badly. Not as badly as before, but still badly. Choose a number between 1 and 10.
2.
2, I heard. 2 is not rolled. It was almost a 2. There's this explosion as it bashes against the side of the mountain. Again, general laughter. Not laughter so much as like, when this happens. Second one, this is the novice. He fires and connects with the cathedral. A definite hit as it
Yes,
slams.
look at that.
There's applause, rather genteel applause, coming from several
golf
hundred
clap.
Demons as they watch
Demon
that
golf.
happen. Yep.
Brother.
This impact, it bounces. You see it hits against that golden shield and then bounces upwards into the air for a little bit before disappearing over the side of the mountain. They obviously don't care who or what they hit. The last one is, again, supposedly one of them who's competent. He fires. This one seems to be on a direct course for you, however. So, again, 1d8. Choose a number between 1 and 8.
7.
8. You need to make dexterity saving throws, please. Thorn, Ixtec, Jormund, and Peppermint.
Oh
Saving
boy.
throw.
Peppermint tries to
18's
catch the
good.
boulder.
Oh no!
No!
Baby,
No.
no!
It's a sky ball.
It's a sky ball. Ixtec, you deftly roll out of the way of the bits of stone shard that explode. Thorn, Goat?
Would this knock me prone if I got hit by a boulder?
You're being hit by the shrapnel, not the actual boulder itself.
Okay.
So it wasn't a direct hit. It was it exploded around nearby, and it's bits of rock shrapnel that are snapping onto you.
Okay.
So that's a fail from you. That's a fail from Peppermint. It's a fail from Jormund as well. All right. So everybody who failed, you take 14 points of damage.
Oh, I'm glad I
7
didn't
for Ixtec. So you're knocked unconscious, I believe.
Yeah.
Peppermint takes 14, so he's yelping in
didn't matter.
pain.
didn't
Thorn,
matter.
have you added your damage already?
I've added mine.
You've added yours, Jormund. I saw someone changing. I wasn't sure who it was.
I
So Thorn,
didn't change mine.
you go to 37. All right. As this massive boulder just shatters and rips into the ground, you can see the remains of the boulder. It is literally the corpses of elves, dwarves, and humans that have been nailed together into this ball-like shape. Bits of them are ripped open and apart, and fire and brimstone is inside the ball. So they were nailed onto a boulder of fire and brimstone, and then fire.
That is disgusting.
It is
Delightful.
It is.
Let's not get caught by them.
It is a functional tool, though. Does damage and devastation as well as demoralizes whoever you shoot it at.
And you're also going to get very sick.
The rest of you, I assume,
Wait.
we're now out of combat, unless you're going to stay on this landing. Yes, Thorn?
I would have taken damage as a goat,
Yes.
so my hit points for my goat would have gone down, not
Yes.
Thorn.
I will put you back to 23.
Your good points.
Your goat hit points.
My
have dropped.
goat
You need to keep track of your goat. I don't have your goat on my tracker, if you please. I assume you all head to the edge of this precipice now, yes? No?
Well, not me. I'm lying on the ground.
Oh, yes. Okay,
yeah,
sorry,
before-
we're
yeah,
still
I
in
was
combat. So, Thorn,
Yep.
what are you doing? Oh, goatish one.
I kind of wanted to stay as a goat because I could have sort of bounded down the cliff.
You can.
Go
I mean,
and get the
you
others.
probably-
I'll get his tech.
Brr. I run towards May.
Run. Do goats run?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty quick. I got 40-foot movement.
You run. You quite happily get to wherever you can maneuver yourself as you so choose.
Yep.
Along
And I
on
kind
the
of,
river.
Motion to Mai to get on to ride me.
Well, c'est une proposition, hein? D'accord. You
Jormund,
insist? I'm going to climb this goat.
I'll come to you now, May.
Yorman, I assume the shrapnel that hit us was also parts of the bodies and bits that...
Yes.
So I'm going to grab just a bit of offal or whatever, and I'm going to hand it to Peppermint. I'm going to very caringly sort of again try to stroke his pustule mane. I look deep into his flaming infernal eyes, and I say, Peppermint, listen, in Infernal. This is where we part ways. You cannot come with us down the cliff. Find safety. Find a pack and live the rest of your life. You were a loyal companion. Now go! And I sort of point and gesture away.
That's incredibly sweet, but I can't believe that this language has a word for peppermint.
Peppermint kind of understands, but your rod of control controls him, so you tell him what to do and he goes. It's a very sad Peppermint with his tail hanging between his legs and his fifth arm hanging low, seeping out the sebum that it leaks as it casually, slowly, sadly walks away. It gets a good 30 feet away and then it kind of looks back over its shoulder. One
I
great
grab
big
another
puppy
bit
dog
of-
eye, the other one on fire and sort of greyish.
I grab another bit of like of like offal or like a limb, and I throw it and get out of here.
Go!
It yelps and then starts running down the side of the mountain.
Oh.
I'll then scoop up Iztek in under one arm, and make my way towards the cliff edge.
Yeah, Aestek's stabilized. Like they'd gotten some shrapnel that sort of struck them across the head, and the wound has already closed up and scabbed over.
May,
Ugh.
I mount the goat.
T-shirt quote.
you mount the goat. Give me an animal handling check, please.
Not a manhandling check.
Not yet. That's when he changes shape.
And it's tree handling.
Yeah. And then,
That's
then it's
true.
a shrubbery.
Probably gardening, isn't it?
Gardening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May
7.
climbs upon the goat. Apparently, this is difficult. Yes, so you sort of. There are some women who are incredibly graceful at all times. There are others that are graceful when they're on their own feet. And then there's May when she's riding on the back of a giant goat, which somehow she tries to make it look like a chaise longue and she's reclining back. There's beautiful dexterity going on, but it's just not happening.
I mean, she
it
has
looks
Dex
awkward. You're
20,
on,
so I can
yes.
imagine she's absolutely not sitting on the goat properly.
Yes.
I can imagine she's probably got her feet where the horns are, and she's just sort of leaning back like this. Just like perfectly poised, balanced, very relaxed looking, but absolutely not sitting on the goat like you should sit on a goat. You should sit on a goat.
Xtech, you've stabilized, so you don't have
Yeah.
to make those checks. Let me just take that condition off.
I love this smash item. It's great.
Of you.
I am so glad I took it because I've gone down twice already.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
It's
That
the
is
warlock
true.
disease.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's Xtech, and then Nazaya. You could
Desire
not-
starts climbing down. It looks like Jormund is going to help Ixtek.
Yes.
And May May probably knows what she's doing. It doesn't look like it, but she'll be fine. So Nazaya just starts climbing down.
All right, you start your descent down. Everybody else is going to climb down as well. Do you get a climbing bonus, Goat?
No, strangely enough, but I do have a thing called sure-footed.
Okay. What does that do?
Nothing. It just gives me advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that would knock me prone. So I guess, I suppose, if I fall off, and that's going to knock me prone.
I mean, it gets to represent that goats are good climbers, but not actually giving them
doesn't
any
do a very
climbing
good job.
skill is weird.
But are all goats good
Not-
climbers? I mean,
no,
I've
all
seen goats that
are.
can barely stand.
Well, yes, when they get nervous, fainting goats, yes, they do have a problem. All right, so you start to climb down. Are you going to climb? Well, you have committed now, so you start to make your way down. We're going to move very quickly into a skill challenge where you need to get 4 successes before 3 failures, as this is difficult terrain that you are climbing down. From any one of you, I need you to please give me. Let's start with an athletics check.
I'm glad I'm unconscious.
Yes, except for you, you're being carried.
I'm really glad.
I think I'll do that
Okay.
one because I have a +4.
All right, go for it. Anyone can do it, but once you've done it, you can't participate again.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's a
okay.
success.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nazaya beat you to it, so athletics, that is 1 success. Next, as you are slowly starting to make your way down, strength alone won't help you, and a certain amount of acrobatics is required in order to breach the gap. That is a natural 20 made by Mademoiselle LaRouche.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
is it your acrobatics for climbing off the goat?
Yes. Well, as you're kind of casually lying there, you're like, no, don't put your foot there. It's stupid. Put it over there. And the goat tentatively moves its hoof over there, perhaps.
We call this the goat luge.
That's 2 successes, no failures yet. You are making your way steadily down the side of this cliff. It is taking you a long time, and every now and again you hear this terrific boom, boom, as the trebuchets are hammering the side of the mountain, hammering into the cathedral. Whether it's sustaining its shield or not, you don't know. You cannot see from here. You are nearing midway, as a matter of fact, when all of a sudden you realize that the rock that you are climbing down, it seems to have changed in its density, perhaps, or something. It's becoming incredibly brittle. And I need someone to give me a nature check to determine what this is and how best you should climb down it. That remains either Thorn or Jormund.
Oh, come on, Thorn. No.
You don't have nature?
Don't make me do a nature check.
Okay.
How don't you
That
have
is a
nature?
success.
Yay.
Hey, you do have
Thorn,
nature. Okay.
you recognize that you have reached an area that is frequently found around volcanoes where everything has been glassed. Superheated, superfired, large chunks of glass. This is incredibly dangerous to move upon, as any handhold suddenly becomes a razor blade. So you slow your descent. 3 successes, 1 success remains, 3 failures still in hand. Jormund, it all rests upon you now, as you must give me, please, a survival check.
Wait, what do you mean all rests on me? I thought we had to fail 3 times. When did this become life or death?
It's always life or death. This is Avernus.
Well, I'm going to burn a inspiration point on this one.
All right, okay.
Because...
Why don't you wait until you roll first and then re-roll it?
Yeah, you can do.
Can I do that?
Yeah?
All right, I'll do that then.
All right, roll it.
Okay, so survival check. Ha! 11.
That's a failure.
Oh.
I'll burn the
Inspiration.
That's
Oh.
still an 11.
Oh
That's still a failure.
no!
Still a failure. As you try to lead them down the path, it opens back up again to everybody. We need to hurry up here. We're going to be over time. But you, now of the 4 of you, what?
Why?
What was that roll for? We need to hurry up, but I need to give you the
Stop
skill
rolling
first.
unprompted.
We've gone the wrong way.
This
We're
is
climbing the
last
mountain now.
season.
It's a perception check now, please, as you need to figure out your way out of
sorry.
this quagmire. So someone give me a perception check.
went through this last season. Stop doing unprompted rolls.
That's another failure.
Ah!
As you get
That's the
deeper
third
into
one.
these glass shields, one failure remains in hand, one success remains in hand. And so now I need someone to please give me a nature check.
Thorn!
Come on,
Thorn!
Come on.
Thorn!
do it.
That
Ah!
is a success. And we will be back next week as our heroes continue their climb through this mountain range of Avernus. A big shout out to our sponsors, World Anvil, worldanvil.com. Thank you for giving us character sheets and all the world information. Dungeon Fog for the beautiful maps that you give us. And Fantasy Grounds for all of the 20s of the ones rolled today. Quite a spectacular event. And Dungeons and Dragons for giving us this amazing world to play in. And of course, to all of you for watching and participating. Join us for Afterlife, which is on twitch.tv/greatgm, where we talk to the cast about today's eventful episode. Until next time, however, I'm out of breath, we're out of time, and we will see you all next week.